Now, another thing that you guys were doing in the room that I found very entertaining was, I guess you guys were doing paperwork parties on people.
Yeah, for the entertainers, we went through the entertainment industry. The Jim Jones, the Freekey Zeekey, shit like that.
Now, some of these were real, some of these turned out not to be real. Can you give us some background on the Jim Jones case and what you guys researched on Clubhouse?
I don't want to go too much into it, but what I will say is there was some audio that was made available to the internet, a phone conversation that was used in the Fed case with the 9 Trey and the 6ix9ine shit. And it was some conversations on the phone, and everybody was wondering, like, damn, is this incriminating or is this not? You came to the room, everybody came to the room, and you know, to this day, everyone still says, you know, it's suspect, but ain't no actual thing that says this is what's going on. But all the brothers who've been to the feds, who've been in them type of cases, you know, all agreed that, yeah, you know, people have went down for less conversations. People have went down for less. So it was definitely one of those eye raisers. And I'm a Jim Jones fan. I fuck with the music. I fuck with the Dipset. I grew up listening to that shit. So, you know, it was just one of those situations where it's like, I got put up to it because I wasn't even gonna do it. Did you know that? I wasn't even gonna do it. They said, you a Jim Jones fan, you biased. They said, you not even, they said, let's play the audio. Let's listen to it and let's see what the stage say. I said, all right, I don't give a fuck. I said, let's do it. And a majority of the brothers and sisters that came in, it was like, yeah, they said that don't sound right. And then, you know, it came right after that, the Freekey Zeekey. Now, Freekey Zeekey's situation was different. There was actual paperwork, there was actual documentation, his shit was different. But the Jim Jones shit, it was really just a conversation about, you know, if you're on a phone call and you talking about certain things and the feds are using that in court, will you be summoned? Will you be required to come in? Will you be arrested immediately? Or will it just go away and you just go about living your life? So it's still a mystery. Maybe one day, you know, Jim Jones will let me sit down and interview him, an unbiased interview, and you know, he just tell me what it is. He don't got to go into detail, but he can at least tell me like, hey, you know, this don't validate this. This was not incriminated. That shit was. That's why I'm good. And I'm good with that. Shit, really, we just wanted some understanding on what it was. Shit, it wasn't biased. Shit, like I said, I'm a fan of his music, for sure.
To wrap that up, it was basically a phone conversation, if I remember this correctly, where he was saying some gangster shit that they should do.
Yeah.
That normally under federal law would come up under a conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, nothing ever happened to Jim Jones. Doesn't mean he told, but it does raise a couple eyebrows. Why was he not part of a conspiracy when he's doing this high-powered gangster talk?
Yeah, why he didn't have to come to court through the whole trial. He never had to take the stand. He never got summons. He said he never even went to the police station. He said I never was called in, but the audio was played in court. So it's one of them situations like, shit, man, I can't even wrap my head around it. Shit.
Now let's go to Freekey Zeekey. This is a little different. There was actual tangible paperwork on this case.
Freekey. Yeah.
So give us the background on that one.
Yeah, Freekey Zeekey had a situation back in the day. Someone lost their life, and you know, his hospital files from the police investigation surfaced online. Someone leaked it. Even the person that's actually doing time right now wrote to his lawyer, and his lawyer wrote back, and you know, gave a response. And then he had a situation where he got caught with some shit out of North Carolina, and you know, didn't really get punished for that. He just had a whole bunch of shit that was documented, and him actually, you know, them saying according to the paperwork that was provided, that, you know, he spoke with authorities. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, shit, we was able to get him to come to Clubhouse and had him read his own shit out loud, and it just got ugly. It got ugly. I asked him certain questions to verify what I'm looking at is real. Before I give it to you, were you at this hospital? Yeah. Did you speak to him? Yeah. All right, I'm about to DM you. Check your DM. That's you. He like, and then he read it, and then it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just bad situation for Freekey Zeekey. You know what I'm saying? He kind of walked himself into that.
Did he ever admit to telling?
Nah, he never admitted, but he admitted that all the information, as far as the location, the time, who he spoke with, all that was legit. But I'm like, okay, well, it says that you described this, that, and the third. You didn't know these people's name, but the descriptions you gave and the person that's in jail is saying, yeah, this is the dude. So, you know, I think these days, man, people got a new definition of snitching. If you telling them any damn thing, you don't got to say, oh, his name is this. If you say anything, yeah, the dude was this height, he had a white sweater, he went that way, and then they drive that way and catch that dude, you cooperated. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you didn't go to court and take the stand, you helped with the investigation. So,
another paperwork situation, I think you guys pretty much brought it to the internet in a big way, was the Mob James one, where you guys got the paperwork from somewhere and then did a hell of a room about it. There were some questions one way or the other, but then the guy that was being told on showed up in the room and cleared it all up. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So talk about that, the Mob James one.
See, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really privy to that. That information came, we went over it just like we went over everything, and out of nowhere, the dude name that was on there, he popped up in the audience. He came and spoke for himself. At that point, we gave him the floor, like, shit, this is your case. This is the paperwork you sat in jail and looked at forever. You give us some understanding on it. Shout out to FG.
But then you guys also were on Bomb First.
What is Bomb First?
Bomb First was a YouTube platform.
Okay.
You guys gave a donation for $100, got in there, and were able to talk to Mob James personally about this case. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was with Reggie Wright.
Correct.
That was with Reggie Wright. Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't even really privy to that. You know, that was already an ongoing situation and conversation that's been happening. I was kind of new to it, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't really had no dog in the fight. My job is only asking like, hey man, this is what this dude is saying. This is what's being provided. If this ain't you, clear this, and then we clear, and it just kills all that. You know, so it wasn't one of them situations where I already had a pre-designated thought of what it was. That shit I was a little kid during the death row era any of them times. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really privy on that. You know what I mean? So the ones I'm not privy on, I can't really speak on that much because at the time I'm just reading what's available and I'm just asking the questions as an interviewer.
But you were asking some straightforward questions with him. I remember the part he got mad at you. He was like, "Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? You know?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me these questions?"
Yeah, I said, man, is this you or not? He said, who the fuck is you? Hey man, I'm the one that asked you the damn questions. Yeah, I remember that shit.
But it didn't seem like he was able to answer any of the questions you guys were throwing him at.
Yeah, he wasn't really fucking with it. And shit, if I was in this situation and it looked bad, shit, maybe I wouldn't fuck with it either. But when you know your shit is clear, you know the truth, you got no problem. Yes, no, false, here's this, here's that. So yeah, you're right. He didn't really have a lot to say on it. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Now the last one in this genre that you guys did that I remember, because I actually jumped in the room, had a couple things to say, was when you guys were pressing Jooba Loc.
Oh, Hitman 50.
Hitman came in there from Long Beach.
Yeah, Hitman 50 sent over the information to the room, and he said I want to come in here. He said I want to clear my name, and he said I want to let it be known. So that's another one that shit didn't have nothing to do with us. You get what I'm saying? It was at that point in time, people started just coming to us. Hey man, my boy up the street, man, he went bad on us. Hey man, who's your boy? Oh man, little such and such. Like, hey bro, is he somebody that people know?
Yeah.
Nah, man, nah. That's not what we doing. We don't give a fuck about just because. Let me be honest. Well, matter of fact, let me ask you a question. What do you think the purpose of doing those rooms was?
Well, I thought it was to educate the public that there are those out there that are cooperating with law enforcement, and we're a room that can help provide information to let the listeners decide either yay or nay if you believe this person was cooperating with law enforcement.
Okay, so Educating the people, yeah. But our main focus was showing the youth. Now let me show you how it ties back into the youth. When you listen to rap music, you see the entertainment shit, they show the tattoos, the chains, the guns, the cars, the women. They show all this glory shit. But what they don't show is that a lot of this shit is entertainment. A lot of the people who really about that life, they either dead or in jail. So while you're looking at these entertainers and you're fathoming yourself to be just like them, you're trying to do your dreads like them, you're trying to dress like them, just know that these entertainers, rappers, and people that you consider to be so gangster, when these people get under that light, they get in them situations, they don't be so quick to just throw away $100 million, throw away a $30 million tour. You know what I'm saying? They keep a lot of those things in consideration. Like, damn, I'm finna go down. I just got this house. I just signed a record deal. And a lot of people in the entertainment business, that shit is entertainment. So letting the young people know, like, yeah, I know y'all look at these people as your hood heroes on TV, but know that these people could go bad. So don't fathom after that. Yeah, so T.I., y'all remember he got caught with all those guns at the Walmart. Then they raided his house and found shit. He got stopped in LA. They found shit in his limo with him and his lady. And the man did 12 months in one day? Yeah, so, you know, that raised everyone's eyebrows. Like, hold on, you got caught with all that shit, and then you go do a Crime Stoppers commercial when you get back. Hey, man, it's your boy T.I.P., man, it's your boy Tip. But today we talking about another tip, a tip that can help your mother, your father. And there's also a reward. I'm saying, whoa, T.I., I know you're not suggesting that we cooperate with Crime Stoppers. I know that's not what you're hinting to. Had to listen again. I said, oh, shit. I said, we got to talk about this, because this is supposed to be the dude who created the word trap. You might have seen me in the street show that you don't know me. Like, hold on, Tip. Is you keeping that shit 100? Is you really keeping that shit solid? You really gonna go down when the shit fall on you? Or is this shit a fucking image? Is this just something that you selling to the masses, and the young people, they watching you and listening to you, and they thinking like, man, if I sell dope and I trap out, I'm gonna be like T.I. Bro, you leading our young people down a path of destruction. Keep that shit 100. Say, man, that's what I used to do. These days, I'm with my family. I'm investing in this. You know what I mean? I just created this. Go ahead and talk about some of that. I don't like people putting out an image that they not actually about or never been about. Don't put that image out. You know what I'm saying? If you just a regular dude, ain't nothing wrong with being a regular dude. So the whole T.I. shit, you know what I mean? It went up. You know what I'm saying? I even took it to another app, Riff. I was even on Riff. Got into it with his son, King Harris. The one that just got locked up, light-skinned dude.
His son came on that app?
On Riff, came to my room. Said, fuck CEO Reek, and got off camera. Said, man, bring your dad, man. Your dad's suspect. Bring your weird-ass dad to the room. So, yeah.
Now, a lot of these rooms in the early days of Clubhouse were not saved or recorded, but then they added a feature where you can save the room and then have it just sit there. Are most of these interviews that you've done saved and preserved on the app?
Nah, they're on YouTube though.
Okay.
Yeah, people was in the audience recording them.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the New York rooms, OG Mac, New York founder, or the Bloods, or Snitch, all that shit is on YouTube.
Now, did you notice in these rooms, especially when you was doing the paperwork, snitch rooms, that you would actually have like 1,000 people in a room, which is a lot in Clubhouse? Because you know you get 50 people in a room, that's cool. You get 100, you know you're doing it. You get a couple hundred, that's big. But sometimes I look and it's like there's 1,000 people in there.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't say 1,000. 1,000, you being nice. I would say anywhere from 600 to 800 people. Yeah, anywhere from 600 to 800 people.
But some of these were the snitch paperwork rooms were some of the bigger rooms, right?
Nah, I wouldn't even say that. They were decent rooms. The biggest rooms where it was just about the streets, just period. Breaking down just, you know, the brothers that want to talk about their prison stays, brothers who want to talk about proffer agreements and what the fuck is that, and you know, basically breaking down the history and origins. You know, I'm a young dude, so you know, the 80s and 90s, Whether you was in LA, New York, that's when the wolves was out. So, you know, they just giving us their perspective of how things have changed. Those was really the biggest rooms. Cause you know, everybody wanna hear it from the OGs. You know what I mean? They wanna hear it from who was actually around when the shit started. A young person, shit, we can only give you passed down information. We can't tell you what 92 was like, 91 was like, but we can, you know, pass down that information from our OGs like, hey, boom, they said this is how it used to be, this is what it was, this was the section, you know, this is how people was getting money, this is how people was surviving, this was the trend. So I would say them was the biggest rooms.